Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you can play a song called You Send Me by Sam Cooke. And it starts off on a G major chord. And when you play G major, first finger goes to the A on the 2nd fret, second finger on the low E string 3rd fret, and the third finger on the high E string 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now you may also want to think about putting the third finger on the B string 3rd fret, pinky on the high E string 3rd fret, and if you strum all those together, it's another way you can play your G major through the song. And then from the G, we're going to go into an E minor chord when we play E minor. First finger stays on the A string 2nd, second finger on the D string 2nd fret, and if you strum all those together, that sounds an E minor chord, and it sounds really sad. Now you may also want to think about adding in the third finger on the B string 3rd fret, pinky on the high E string 3rd fret, and making that an E minor 7 chord. And then from the E minor, we're going to be going to an A minor chord when we play A minor. First finger goes to the B string on the 1st fret, second finger on the D string 2nd fret, and third finger on the G string 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord, and it sounds really sad. Now you may also want to think about lifting off the third finger and making that an A minor 7. Or you could add the pinky in on the high E on the 3rd fret, make that an A minor 7 that way. Or if you're digging on that G major, E minor 7 voicing, you could do first finger on the D, you do the first finger on the D string 2nd, second finger on the G string 2nd, third finger on the B string 3rd, and the pinky on the high E string 3rd. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds an A7 sus. You're going to think about that for your A's. And then from the A, we go to a D major chord. And we play D major. First finger goes to the G on the 2nd fret, second finger on the high E 2nd fret, and third finger on the B string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now on D chords in general, it can be kind of cool to lift off the second finger and make that a D sus2 or D suspended second. Or you could take the D chord shape and kind of add in the pinky and make it a D suspended chord. So we want to kind of think about those. And for the most part, actually, kind of that first verse is just that G, E minor, A minor, D. And you want to think about just doing downs, actually kind of doing downs on each chord could kind of work. Or a lot of times with a song like this, I like to use something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So if you get the G and just tried that a lot, you'd have down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up. So another way to kind of apply that is to do a down, down, up on each chord and have G, down, up, E minor, down, up, A minor, down, up, B, down, up, G, down, up, E minor, down, up, A minor, down, up, B, down, up. Or you could kind of split that strum pattern between the chords and have G with a down, down, up, E minor, up, down, up, A minor, down, up, D, up, down, up, G, down, up, E minor, up, down, up, A minor, down, up, B, up, down, up. And for our first verse chorus, we end up repeating that 4 times. And then we go into our second. There's this cool little tag at the very end where we do a G major chord to a C major chord. When we play C major, first finger goes to the B string on the 1st fret, second finger on the D string 2nd fret, third finger on the A string 3rd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now on C's, it can be kind of cool to lift off the first finger and make that a C major 7. Or you could take the pinky and add it in on the B string 3rd fret and make that a C major 9. Or another way to play C major 9 is to do first finger on the D string 2nd, second finger on the A string 3rd, third finger on the B string 3rd fret, and the pinky on the high E string 3rd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major 9 chord. And then from the C, we go back to kind of our G major with our whole strum pattern before we kind of hit our bridge. So we have kind of that G, E minor, A minor, D, G, E minor, A minor, D, G, E minor, A minor, D, and a G, C, G. That second verse. And then from there, we go into our bridge part. And our bridge kind of starts out with kind of 2 hits on A minor, and then a hit on D, and then we go to G for 3 hits, and then we go back to A minor for 2 hits and a D hit, and then back to G for 3 hits, and then A minor for 2 hits, and then D, and then there's this cool little chord change where you kind of hear the bass go from 3rd fret on the low E to 1st fret on the low E to open E twice, and then we play open A, and then we kind of hit a D chord, well, kind of an A chord or an open A, and then a D note. So note-wise, you're playing kind of a G, F, E, E, A, and then we come in back in with almost kind of a triplet idea, kind of a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on the A, and then kind of a stop on the D, and then you'll hear this cool little bass line play where you play open D, second fret on the D, and then fourth fret on the D to kind of lead us back into our verse chorus. Now, if you wanted to back up that bass line with chords, you could start out on the G major, but then we could go to an F major chord. When we play F major, first finger goes across the entire first fret, second finger on the G string, second fret, third finger on the A string, third fret, and the pinky on the D string, third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an F major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now, you may also want to think about using something called F major 7, where you do the first finger on the B string, first fret, second finger on the G string, second fret, and third finger on the D string, third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds an F major 7 chord, and it sounds really groovy, happy. And then the E note, you could back up with an E minor chord, where you do the first finger, or the E minor, or the E minor 7. But you may want to change that next E to an E major chord. You play E major. First finger goes to the G on the first fret, second finger on the A string, second fret, and third finger on the D string, second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an E major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now, you may also want to think about lifting off the third finger and making that an E7, or you could take the pinky and add it on the B string third and kind of make it an E7. So through that whole bridge part, you've got kind of that A minor, D, G, A minor, D, G, A minor, D, G, F, E minor, E7, A minor, and then we kind of come back with our A minor 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a D hit, and then the O, 2, 4 is kind of that bass lead in. And then from there, then we go back into kind of our verse chorus part. So we're back to kind of our G, E minor, A minor, D. But a lot of times with a song like this, to make it more interesting, I like adding something called bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down, of the down, down, up, down, you can throw in a bass for the chord. So on the G, you'd have low E for the bass. On the E minor, you'd have low E for the bass. On the A minor, you'd have the A for the bass. And on the D, you'd have the D for the bass. And on the C, you'd have the A for the bass. And if we had enough time for it, on the F major bar, you'd have low E for the bass. F major 7 would be the D bass. And on the E major, you'd have the low E for the bass. That's kind of where those chords are coming from, that bass line. So we try that through that next verse chorus. We'd have G with low E bass, low E bass, A minor then A bass, D with a D bass, G with low E bass, low E bass, A minor then A bass, D with a D bass, G with low E bass, A minor, D, G, A minor, D. And then from there, then we go into a solo part, which kind of parallels our verses from before. So we got our G, E minor, A minor, D, G, E minor, A minor, D, G, E minor, A minor, D, G, A minor, D. And then from there, then we go into another verse, kind of like our second verse from before. So we got our G, E minor, A minor, back to kind of our A minor, D, G, A minor, D, G, A minor, D, G, F, E minor, E, A minor hit, and then we got our A minor 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, D hit, and then our bass line to lead us into our outro verse chorus. And we kind of have our G, E minor, A minor, D, play low E and then open D and then low E on the third, kind of around the G chord, and then there's this cool little chord chord hit where you could take a first finger and kind of go over the 12th fret on the E, B, and G, and kind of play a little E minor chord, kind of play 12 on the E and the B and the G string all together. So from that G, C, you have the G, C, G, Louis, open D, 3, 12. This might be kind of a cool way to outro the tune. But that's the basics of how you could strum through You Send Me by Sam Cooke. So good luck!